So, hey girl, hey. I think we're gonna have to take these glasses off because there's a glare. But I actually, yeah, is that a big glare? Yeah. But I actually got a question from a subscriber that I wanted to answer, so I wanted to do something a little more casual, hence the glasses and a kimono, but seemingly we might have to take these off because there's a glare. But so in this video, I wanted to answer the question, or at least just give my perspective on it, because I don't know all the answers to life and the universe and all that stuff. But I do have my perspective, and so if you're asking for my perspective, I'm gonna give it to you. Okay, I think that's better. Drinking my Zivia. Listen, people do tea, coffee. I do Zivia. It's just bomb. It's fire. What do the kids say? I don't know. But we're drinking with the metal straw. That's how you do it. And so anyways, I wanted to answer the question. So the question pretty much, I can't read it verbatim because it's on my phone. And I'm recording this off my phone. But the question was, can we make people fall in love with us and talk to us and that kind of thing through the law of assumption and manifesting? And from my perspective, you can. That's the short answer, but you can. Now, that is definitely hard, I feel, and I've proven that to myself, that it's really hard to change your assumption about someone. But can you? Absolutely. I've done it, and I've proven that to myself, that you can change your assumption of someone. So if you, again, this comes down to beliefs, and I talked about how your beliefs are the rules for your game. If you create a belief that someone is in love with you, and you really hold to that, and you use your thought energy to just really, like, you hold to that and you use your thought energy in that direction of someone being madly in love with you, yeah, absolutely. I think that can definitely be something that happens. I mean, I think that you can do so much with your mind, and I think a lot of people know that already, honestly, but I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. But your mind is very powerful, and this is something that's taught in hypnosis. It's been taught over the years, and I mean, it's even taught in marketing, if you think about it, like how powerful your mind is and how you can convince people to think a certain way. It's absolutely possible. I was going to say something else. I'm not going to edit this video because I want it to be, well, I'm probably going to edit it. But your mind is definitely powerful. Now, what made me even like consider, honestly, because honestly, I have heard about the law of assumption and, making people fall in love with you and that kind of thing. But what really made me think about it is that I was watching Joseph Rodriguez's channel, and I don't remember what book he was summarizing, but he said something along the lines of turning an enemy into a friend, and how you can do that with your mind and your assumptions and your perceptions, and how powerful your perception of someone truly is. So that made me think, I'm like, if you can change someone that doesn't like you, an enemy, into a friend, so someone that doesn't like you into someone that does like you, could you do that with other things? And so I have tried changing my assumptions about people. Now that's really, really hard especially when you have past memories and history with someone. That's why it's not easy. It's the history and the memories, and having to revise memories and overlook past memories and history. That's definitely really hard, because one thing I'll tell you when it comes to that kind of thing, when you're trying to change your assumption about someone or your perception about someone, the hardest thing is that your mind is going to fight you like tooth and nail. It's going to fight you. It's going to bring up every single past memory that is in contrary to what you're trying to assume and perceive of that person. And oftentimes people do give up. But true mastery is when you can change an enemy into a friend. And it's possible. Your mind is that powerful. Now, in the studies that I'm studying to be a clinical hypnotherapist, and the studies that I've done personally on my own about how powerful the mind is, and you see it in history. You see it in history how they've used chanting and all sorts of things that you can use on your own self. Like, I talk about subliminals on this channel. I talk about repeating things, affirmations, and all this kind of stuff. If you look back on history, you'll see that chanting, even in like sports games and all this kind of stuff, how that stuff really affects people's minds. It really programs them to think a certain way. Even when it comes to the Holocaust and how they were able to do what they were able to do, it was all programming. If you look back on the strategies and the tactics that they used to be able to pull that off, to control masses, it's the same kind of thing. And so that's how powerful the mind is. And so, to go back to his question, can you use the law of assumption like how you perceive someone to make them fall in love with you? Absolutely. I believe that that's true. It's definitely not the easiest thing, because you're having to overcome a lot of things within your own self, because everything, when it comes to manifesting and creating your reality, choosing your outfit, choosing the experience that you're wishing to experience, you're having to come back to yourself. So you're always overcoming your own self and building yourself and manipulating and molding your mind and the way you think. All of these things, it all boils down to you. And so when it comes to that, you still have to overcome yourself and your mind and the things that might come up that might be contrary to what you're trying to do. So yeah. Anyways, that was a really roundabout way to answer his question. I hope that made sense. But I did want to answer that question because I thought it was a good one. Studying the law of assumption through Neville Goddard is definitely interesting. And, I always tell people, just prove it to yourself. Prove it to yourself. That's going to be your best compass when it comes to, choosing your experience, aligning with your vision, holding to your vision, whatever it is that you're trying to do, is prove the stuff to yourself instead of wanting someone to tell you that is true, and then you don't, I'll be open to things that people say. I don't take them for their word. I'll be like, oh, okay, that seems like it could be true, but I'm going to test it myself and see. So that's what I always would suggest, as well as try it out and see, But anyways, that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And that's all. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. I do videos on spirituality. I'm answering questions now. I like doing these. These are kind of fun. And manifesting and all that jazz. So if you like that kind of thing, I invite you to subscribe and like this video. And I will check you guys in the next video. Peace.